So what a race we've just seen, the British Grand Prix. Now, honestly, this has got to be the best race I've seen this year. This was 10 out of 10. Lewis Hamilton, absolute stellar performance. Max Verstappen didn't have the car, but drove an absolute beast of a race. Lando Norris, again, disappointing from him. He had potential to win the race, but again, some costly mistakes from him and the team. George Russell, commiserations for him. He obviously had, I think it was a water pump issue, had to retire the car. Sergio Perez, where did he finish? I don't even know. He's probably going to lose his seat. But anyway, let's get into it. So, Lewis pulled out an absolute beautiful drive today to get the victory. This was by far Lewis's best drive that he's had all year. And even so, in the last couple of years. This is the first time he's won in over 2.5 years. He hasn't had the car to perform, but we saw today he definitely had a car that was up there. We saw him qualifying yesterday, the car was looking good, and we saw him practice as well, the car was looking good. However, his performance today was incredible. Lewis hasn't performed like this in a long time. He obviously hasn't had the car to perform like this, but there was definitely some more motivation coming into this weekend. Everyone seemed he appeared more motivated. He appeared more determined. Yesterday he got P2 and he wasn't happy even to get on the front row of the grid. He wanted pole. He wanted to win this one, and by all means, what a performance from Lewis. Absolute stellar. I knew going into the race that George was going to cook his tyres earlier on, and I think that's what happened, and that's how Lewis managed to get the jump on him early on in the first stint. And then we had the rain, and I got worried because he was doing well, and then all of a sudden Lando Norris came past, and then I think even Oscar got past as well, and then I was thinking, oh no, there's going to be contact between him and George. It was messy, but we got out of that storm, and then he absolutely managed to perform a fantastic result. Absolutely, this is probably one of my favourite Lewis Hamilton victories by far. At the end, I was actually welling up. My eyes were welling up towards the end of the race. I think everyone in the commentary there was doing the same. Toto Wolff, if you look at Toto Wolff's eyes, he was welling up as well. No, it was just a fantastic performance. So Lewis delivered incredibly. Absolute brilliant performance from Lewis Hamilton. Lando, McLaren, what is going on? When are they going to learn not to put Lando in these awkward positions? Because he's a racing driver. He's not yet a technician. Okay, he's not at that finer pinnacle level where you got Max and Lewis where they can make decisions on the spot and it works. Just don't put Lando in those situations. All right, just as a team, you should be covering for him and making the choices for him. Because if he would have gone onto the mediums, he would have won. He probably would have won the race. Now, I'm not saying 95%, he probably could have won the race. Even Lewis said to him in the post-race cool-down room, why didn't you use the mediums? If you'd won the mediums, you would have beat me. Incredible. So we saw a mess with Lando Norris's final stint in the tyre selection. We also saw him skid in his pit box that delayed him even further. And Oscar. Now, Oscar was doing brilliant. I think he was in P2. And for whatever reason, McLaren didn't double stack. So Mercedes double stacked, not a problem. McLaren didn't do it, and it cost Oscar massively. So two crucial lessons there for McLaren, and hopefully in next race McLaren can get that in top, because all that's happening is Red Bull was eking out their points in the constructors, and they've only got one driver. Like Sergio Perez isn't even competing. You don't even know he's on the track half the time, and yet Red Bull are still managing to eke out their lead. So disappointing for McLaren, massive shame for Lando. He potentially could have definitely cemented P2 and potentially could have got the race victory, but nonetheless, Max drove a fantastic race. Again, you saw with Max, he didn't have the car this weekend. Absolutely, the car was dog for him this weekend, but he delivered some good pit stops, some good strategy from the team that allowed him to jump quite a few people in the final stint. And when he got on the hard tyre, I was thinking, like, this is getting close now. This is getting close. Potentially, he might catch Lewis, but Lewis drove unbelievably well. Absolute. The way he managed the tyres, I've seen even Sebastian Vettel, he's put something on his Instagram calling Lewis the GOAT. A brilliant performance for Lewis. This, honestly, I can't emphasise this enough. This was probably one of the best wins. And for me personally, this was the best feeling I've had for a Lewis Hamilton win since Brazil 2021, when he was penalised for his rear wing being like that much over the limit or whatever the case was. But absolutely brilliant job from Lewis. Commiserations for George Russell. I thought he deserved the podium, but you know, he didn't have the car and his car broke down. But all in all, this video is mainly just about Lewis Hamilton. Guys, drop me a comment below. How did you rate Lewis Hamilton this weekend? And would you say he's back? Does Lewis Hamilton have the chance to win even more races coming up into the next couple of races? If that happens, then surely Lewis Hamilton has to go down as the absolute greatest ever. There is no debate. Guys, drop me a comment below what you think. See ya.